saucer. It looked like it was mud. I don't know what it was. It was a flying saucer or what it was. It wasn't an airplane. It was not an airplane. It was down awfully low.
You're listening to Pursuit of the Paranormal podcast with your hosts, Ash Ellis and Greg Tomlinson.
Evening, Ash. How's it going?
Good evening, Greg. I'm very, very well. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Very good. Been a busy couple of weeks, and we spoke last week on the episode where we talked about Estes method, EVPs. That was really cool. That was really cool. So yeah, and they seem to go down well. I've been talking to a lot of people about the Estes method.
It created quite a bit of discussion. It was good.
Yeah,
it was good.
I think also the fact that the whole aliens and whatnot coming through, or vampire from Saturn coming through, and the Estes method in the early days has been a bit of an eye opener. And I was listening to one of the other podcasts about Frank's box, which is a super cool device, and he was actually told, it came to him in like a dream, this entity told him how to build this Frank's box. Told him to put certain things in there, didn't tell him why, and he didn't understand why. And it was just like, I've just built it based on aliens telling me to do it, which is
that became the spirit box.
Yeah, it did. So it's mad. So it's been a bit of a weird week in terms of my understanding of the paranormal and equipment that we use for paranormal that didn't originally come from a paranormal side. And it's interesting that, like, you've got the Mel meter as well, which is another device that's used in the paranormal. The guy who invented it, his daughter was called Melissa, and she passed away as a child in a car accident. And he developed all these different devices, either as a way to sort of communicate with her or in recognition of her life. So it's completely mental. It's completely mental. I also heard about another company releasing a new device coming up soon. A new app being released. I tried to send you the video of it, Ash, and I don't think it's sent. But
no, I'm not seeing
I'll
that.
show you that. I'll show you that later.
Awesome.
But yeah. So what else you been up to?
Not much. Looking forward to today's episode. Last time we had one of these guys on. I was ill, I think, so couldn't make the episode. Listen to it. It's a great episode. So looking forward to being here this time for the chat to these guys on today as well. It's a special day today,
and that is Men's Mental Health Day. So it's super cool that we get to talk to these guys, and they'll explain a bit more about how that's impacting them as well in the work they're doing. And we were fortunate enough to meet them a week and a half ago.
10 days ago,
Parachat UK, where they also done a talk alongside us and the girls and everyone about Paranormal Inc. and the future of that. So welcome along, Jack and Paul. How are we doing?
Good, thank you.
Yay. All good.
welcome.
Nice of you to join us. Welcome back, Jack, and welcome on, Paul. Paul was going to be on with us last time, but didn't make it. I'll tell you what, I don't mind saying it. We used to use a particular program, and the amount of people that had problems trying to connect on that.
Yeah, I had to set up my own podcast. I'm sure I set up my own podcast to try and get on. I don't know what I was doing, but yeah, I'll let you know when first episode's out.
It wasn't cheap as well, that software.
No, it wasn't cheap. That cost us a lot of money each month.
Yeah.
And towards the end, it just ran into problems after problems. So now we're on another platform, and it seems a lot easier. Everybody knows how to use this particular platform, because it was the platform that everybody used at the early days of COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah. Family quiz nights.
Family quiz nights.
I've got some questions ready for you guys. We're going to do a music quiz, aren't we, today?
It's funny you say that, because last week we actually used it to play the clips that we used in the episode as well. So we sort of got back into the whole sharing screens and PowerPoints. Anyway, how are you guys? What have you guys been up to? And we'll get sort of a quick up to date with Paranormal Inc. before we talk everything else. So how's this since we last spoke to you, which was a few months ago now, Jack?
Yeah.
What you guys been up to? Where you been? What locations you been to?
What haven't we been doing? I think that's the question. It's been a mental few months, really. I think I actually think these last few months have probably been a real stronghold for us as a company, as a brand, as a team as well. Because a lot of things just happened in a good way. And I almost think it's got us ready for obviously what we're going to talk about later on today, but also moving into next year. I think it's almost, I've sat down with the guys, and for me, the first year, I think for people who are listening to this and for people who are trying to build a business and stuff like that, the first year is just one of those where you almost go, right, okay, I've got my heart set on this. This is what it's going to look like. And throughout the first 3 months, you sat there and you're going, my poster designs changed, my colours changed, my logo started to change. And I actually think we've probably found ourselves in the last 3 months. I think that's probably the best way to put it. And what we want to do as well, one of the events which you guys have been on with us, well, not Ash, but Greg, you comes to Pendle. It was a crazy event. There were so many people there, and I think from my point of view, I say this to the team, and I'm happy to say this. It was an absolute lesson learned from me of how not to run an event. And I'm going to be critical of myself. There was way too many people there, and it wasn't what we're about. It wasn't what we were about at all. And one of the customers, so our tagline is go something done differently. I remembered it this time. And they asked us, what's different about you guys? And obviously I did this on the presentation at Parachat about what is different about us. And I think the last 3 months for me has, it's made me realise what does make us different and where I want to go into the next year with Paul, Jasmine and Lee, and really make a difference to the people, to our customers, but also give customers a bit of a different experience rather than try and shove as many people into a room and, just have this crazy madness of a paranormal investigation and not have any structure to it. I think from my point of view, being able to actually make sure that people come to the event and go, we enjoyed that. That was good, and we can understand we want to book again with these guys. And it's not because they're cheap. It's not because they've got discount scores hanging out of the backside or anything like that. It is purely because of us four. We are good people, and that's it. Paul, I don't know if you've got anything to add on to that, yeah?
No. Yeah, we've ended the year really well, haven't we? We've got 2 sold out events. Last one, half sold out, and I don't think we've really had a bad event, have we? To be fair, no. we had a quiet October to say it's Halloween and should be the busiest time, but
yeah. I mean, we've had some good venues. We've had Keithley Underground, which I know you guys have done. That Northeast SC Land Museum, which from my point of view, that was a nice little
win.
It's a little tick box for me, a little win, yeah. So I used to work for a company up in the Northeast, and it was almost, when I started this, I was like, I'm not going to touch any of the venues up there. I'm not going to do it just out of, I'm going to be nice. And the Northeast Land Sea and Air Museum, if you guys have never been, it's an amazing venue. Really, really cool. I mean, Greg, I know you're into planes. There's planes everywhere. It's really, really cool. Like, there's a book club member there. You can sit in them. It's really, really cool. And two, a investigation around an RAF museum is just pretty cool. Like, but as a venue as well, it's active. It's really, really active. So, again, one of the things which I wanted to do is just give good venues to people. That's part of my events. And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to do it. And to say that I can sell out in a location which is 3 hours away from where we are, I was pretty chuffed with that.
Definitely. No, that's super cool. That's super cool. And so let's go back a little bit. So last time when I spoke to you, Jack, we talked about your intro to the paranormal. So as you're now joining us, Paul, it's a good opportunity. When we talk to people, we like to get their origin story as to how you got into the paranormal, why you got into the paranormal, and really sort of even then how you got into Paranormal Inc. So how did it all start for you?
By accident, really. I was bought tickets to the Preston Playhouse, which is where we're going on Saturday. So we're going back to where it all began. Just bought tickets, didn't know what to expect. I never even knew stuff like this happened, to be fair. I didn't know there was these sort of companies. So went along, sat there at first, not knowing anyone. And I thought, it's just full of weirdos, this. You had a guy in like an anorak, and he was holding a teddy that flashed, and I'm like, what are we doing here? And then we stood around, and he did the opening prayer, and I was like, oh my, like when you're in school and you had your eyes open, and everyone's like that, and you're just smirking. But yeah, it was really interesting. It was an active night. It was just really interesting, and it's just walking around buildings in the middle of the night that you can't do. You don't get to see that side of the building, do you? So it's a history as well. And then I booked on to another one, and then went from there. Really, it's just kind of snowballed to doing it week in, week out now.
So did you sort of grow up with a fascination for the paranormal, or how?
No, I never give it a second thought.
Okay.
To be fair, my grandma, she had I suppose you can call it a paranormal experience in hospital. She was diagnosed with cancer, and then the next day, she didn't have cancer. But she said she seen a light, and she said it wasn't her time to go, all that. So that's happened. And then before I moved to Preston, I lived in a haunted house. I think I mentioned to you the other day. I didn't really know it was haunted until someone mentioned. It didn't bother me at all. I didn't notice anything. But I think now more being into it, you can kind of tell when you walk into a building. I'm kind of looking for it now. It's weird. But yeah. And then I went down the route of watching all the programs, on YouTube. And now, funnily enough, I don't watch any of them. I used to binge watch them all and everything, all the American ones. And now I just don't.
Why do you think you don't watch them now?
I don't know. I still watch some of the American ones because I'd love to go to America. Mm-hmm. I just want to experience and see if it's like what it is on YouTube or if it's all, do you know what I mean? Because they seem to be mental over there, the venues.
It's weird because we interview a lot of people from America, and it just seems insane over there all the time. There's like every other building seems to be haunted. Every other building seems to like have loads of weird stuff happening. So I think it probably is similar to.
Yeah, I did ask Kalani when we seen him, but he didn't give too much away. He just said, you make your own mind up. So
yeah. So so what led you to buy those tickets for that first event? Because
I didn't. I was a present.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, cool. It wasn't even for me either. It was for Laura, my girlfriend.
Yeah.
She got bought him just a random. Her dad just buys a random stuff, and then we just went along.
Wow.
For a reason.
Yeah, I can't remember what the second venue was.
Right, not Norbrook.
Yeah, oh, Norbreck. That's it. The UK's most
Which
haunted
which
castle.
which unbelievably, I was working for a different company
Oh
for that
no,
event as well.
no, there was Pendle. I met you at Pendle first, Jack.
Did you?
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
He was there as a customer.
Ah, okay. There you go. So you
He
can
was
tell me
there as a
lies.
customer, and then I seen you again at Norbreck as an employee.
That's it. Yeah.
So
Yeah, so
how did you how did that sort of move into being involved with Parrot Inc. and Jack?
well, I started working for Spirit Seekers then. So after going to a few events, I think I went to probably 5 or 6 events, and then you get talking to people. I think Jack put my name forward. Jasmine maybe put my name forward as well. And then I got a trial shift, did a couple of them, and then yeah, I just seen it as a loophole, me, to do what I love for free and get paid for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so there's some travelling with that. I think I travelled up to Sunderland to the Northeast Air Museum, like 3 hours away, 3 hours there, 3 hours back, 5 hours there. It was a long trip.
That's me coming up north and coming back
Yeah,
down south every weekend.
all in
Just
one day. You know.
just to see me, Greg.
Absolutely. That's the only
I
reason
was going to
that
say, I think Greg's got a good reason to come up all that way, I'd say.
Ash's basement.
Yeah.
So how has your sort of perception of the paranormal changed from buying those first or having the tickets for that
Yeah, yeah,
first bit to now sort of being part of an event company that runs nights? How you've obviously now seen it from both sides,
yeah, yeah.
and
I love it.
how's it has your perception of the paranormal changed at all from being going in with no knowledge whatsoever to now sort of having an understanding of locations and
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like the guy who was wearing an anorak holding a teddy. They're not weirdos now. They're just, you know what I mean? It's one of them things you just you're always looking for that one piece of evidence that you can't explain. That the ideal one would be something caught on camera, like a full apparition. But yeah, it's like you're chasing a high all the time, isn't it? And every time you go to a new venue, you're excited. It's honestly better than going out drinking on a weekend, to be fair. And 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't have said that.
it's mad, isn't it? It's mad.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying about the chasing the high because we'll go to locations that me and Ash will just go out to wherever and weird stuff will happen. And the next time you go out somewhere, you're like, oh, I hope it's like when we went
yeah,
to X location, or we've heard so many good things about this particular location, and say somebody said they saw this, or this happened for somebody else. And I don't think people who are not into it, I don't know if that makes sense, get
no,
what
they
it
don't.
is. But I think
A
it's the
lot of
same as like
people,
football fans go to watch football and they get that rush when the team scores. It's that kind of,
yeah,
wow, did everybody just hear that knock, or do you hear that whisper? Or we
mm,
went to Priest Cottage and we all heard a laugh and we're just
yeah,
like,
that's in
what the
as
hell
well.
was that? And it was just like, when is when do you have that kind of experience in any other
You can't
form?
explain it to people, though, can you?
No.
Like people say, "Oh, did you see anything?" And it's like it's not really. You don't see anything. It's hard to explain unless you
Mm,
go, because obviously a lot of it's equipment based and scientific and stuff like that.
mm.
But I find it hard to try and sell it to people because people are like, oh yeah, I'll go, and they never do. And then, but you know that once they go once, they'll go again. It's just getting people to book that first event, and they'll be hooked then.
It's funny because you speak to people, and I speaking to somebody at work, and they were like, "Oh, I could never do that. Could never do that. Petrifies me." But then when you a couple minutes later, they go, Well, my dad, he had an experience when he was growing up, or everybody
Yeah.
knows somebody who's had
Yeah,
some kind of weird paranormal experience. So you mentioned that you lived in this haunted house.
yeah,
What kind of weird stuff had happened that you were told about? Because you mentioned you were told about it as well. What
yeah,
and did you get any weird, like, now knowing what you know, did you have any of
yeah,
that kind of stuff happening there?
yeah. Laura, my partner, told me like there was like she came and it was a second floor flat. We own the whole property, but I lived on the second floor, well, the top two floors, and I had the couch in front of the door onto the stairs. It's like it was like someone was watching you, kind of thing. She got that feeling. Fridge doors opened. I had a mirror off the wall, and that flipped over, got turned over. No one had touched it. Just stuff like that. But ever since she mentioned it, I couldn't get it out of my head then. And I was like, yeah, I don't like this place. I don't like this place at all. I couldn't walk around in the dark by myself. But I lived there for about 2 years by myself and it didn't bother me. And then as soon as she starts getting these feelings, yeah, I didn't like it.
That's like when we go to venues though. So like I would walk into a venue. So like if I've never been there before, or even let's say you walk around a venue during the day and you just walk around. And even if like you're in the like I'll give Nelson, so the North East Land Museum, as an example because I actually visited that to take pictures for the website during the day, and I was the only person walking around there during the day. And you're walking into the hangar, and you're absolutely fine. You're fine whatsoever. But actually, if it was on an event at night, it was like, right, okay, go into that hangar where it's really, really dark on your own. Going, no, I'm all right, thank you. It's weird, isn't it, that all of a sudden, as soon as either you've got the experience or someone says, well, did you see that? Or what about this? All of a sudden you sat there and your mind changes. And I think that's like with customers as well. We say it all the time. You know, we always say this isn't TV. You're not going to get stuff thrown at your head or anything like that. And if you do, you've probably caught something absolutely fantastic, your raggy thing. But like it, like Paul said, it's a tap or a bang, or you sat there and you're going, do you know what? We've had the cat balls go off, and it's unexplained why cat balls have gone off, and I think actually one thing which is different, and we've probably seen this quite a lot now, Paul. Now we do events, and obviously we do events, and we also do like our own little investigations on our own too. I think when it comes to events, we're probably little bit more leading on if something goes on like an EMF spark or something like that. You start to go, oh, that's really, really cool. That's amazing. That's amazing. Whereas if an EMF spikes when it's us as a group together, doing like a TikTok live or something like that, you'd be sat there going, okay, cool. Can you do that again? And I think actually, again, it's being able to not exaggerate because that's the wrong term, but actually give off that experience to that customer because that's actually really. If I had an EMF spark on my first ever event as a paranormal investigator, I'm like, what's happening here? This is so cool, you know what I mean? And I think it's actually being able to go, that's cool, that's happened. It's almost like you become seasoned. It's like scoring a goal at football. We're using football terms here, Greg. You score a goal when you're first a kid, you're running around, shirts off, and what have you. Whereas the older you get, you score a goal, it's like, I scored a goal. You know what I mean? And I think it's like that. It's weird, isn't it? It is strange.
Yeah, it's not enough that now. Like you have to stuff flying across the room now. Like that's the next thing.
Yeah.
Especially when you've had mad stuff happen, like sort of like you say, oh, we only scored one goal, scored four. That I want that high and scoring four in a game, not just one goal. Like the chase, like I said, go back to that high, chasing that high of like just the adrenaline effort it gives you is it's good and it's hard to replicate that. And like I say, for you guys giving that experience to the customer, like an EOS bike might be not much to us, but to them that's something they could talk about for years. That's their one, maybe that's the only event they ever do, and they're going to talk about that experience for years, like in their heads. I think that's good.
I mean, give you an example on Saturday. Like, I love Saturday. I mean, we know Carlisle Masonic Hall is a great venue, and it's a venue that I want to go and do on our own as a live, because I absolutely do believe that the venue is haunted. But on Saturday night, we had quite a quiet night. Generally, not a lot happened. We had bits, but we had a lot of new customers there as well. So we had people there who've never done it. We had a few people who were seasoned investigators too. But again, it was still a quiet night. But 2 or 3 customers from that have all come back and be like, yeah, we'll book on next year, or let us know when you're back. And it just shows actually, and again, it goes back to us as a group, that actually people aren't booking on because loads have happened. They're booking on because actually it's a good group of people to be with, and hopefully find that high with as well.
Yeah,
I think it's important. I think it's important the group of people you're with. If you have a good group of people, it makes the night for definite.
The energy as well. It's one of them. We came off the high though from Millen, didn't we? Millen was the one before that, and that was just us, and that was such a good night. And then
So tell us about that. I've seen some video footage of some things that happened. Can you describe? Because me and Sarah were out, and we'd gone to some new location.
Oh, it was so funny, Greg.
And then we were watching your
live,
and you're live, and then you'd I think you sent me the clip as well, Jack, afterwards. So describe what happened.
What made me laugh about that? It was hilarious. So literally, you joined right after I was telling everyone to calm down, because everyone, like, it just happened, and like I was on my phone and I was like, because obviously we had loads of people. I was like, guys, did you hear what has just happened? And you just popped up, hi Jack. It's like, you've just missed it. Like, you just, like, literally, if you would have joined 10 minutes earlier, you would have heard or seen what we saw. I mean, the night, Millen, for me, if I'm going to book somewhere and I'm going to know that I will get activity, Millen is the place to go. The downside of Millen is it is in the middle of nowhere, and it's such a hard place to get to. It's a really, really weird place. But if you can go, I was saying this to the girls too, go. Like, if you want to come with us one time, come with us, because if you can get the energy right in that place,
definitely,
you will have some good experiences, some
that
great
place
experiences.
Is all energy related. That place, like,
massive.
First time I went, there was one customer, me and Laura, and that was it. And it was a dead night. That place feeds off energy, like, really, really
huge. So throughout the night, we had little bits. Apart from, we were stood on the floor next to the stage, and we heard a big bang on the stage. Now, the bang that we heard, me and Paul have heard this the previous time, and where the bang happens, unfortunately, I mean, fortunately for us, but unfortunately for the people, his relations, there was a man who had a heart attack on the stage. I think, I'm going to say around about 10 years ago, so it's quite recent.
15.
But it's really well known that he's there. Really well known. And you're almost, when you walk in, you are drawn straight away to that stage. It's just one of the things, when you're like, you're drawn straight there. Now, on Saturday, so when we were there, the girls, so we split off into 2 groups. We were doing an SB11 session. And again, we actually got really good stuff on SB11. We got names through as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
Basically, we were asking questions, and it was split up, boys, girls. So we split up. We were with Forget Me Not Paranormal, so Karen and Chantel, who we go with sometimes. They went downstairs into, it's a practice room now, and it's got like ballet mirrors. So, and they were doing, I always get this word wrong, scrying.
Scrying. Yeah.
There we go. And they were saying that they had loads of stuff didn't they happen, and it felt like it was a really tense atmosphere down there. So we went down again as a full group, and Karen, she had a bit of a trial thing for us to do, which was really cool. I really enjoyed this. I'm not one for Ouija boards or anything like that. Not because I'm scared of it. I'm a bit like that with it. I don't know whether I believe in it or not, and I think I've never been able to do it with a group of people that I trust to know that it's not them moving it. Anyway, there was us four. I trust these guys, and it was really cool actually. We were blindfolded, and we had this planchette. I've got it here actually, but it's basically she's made it from a it's it's the corner shelf from a bathroom, and she's put wheels on it. Right, and the idea is basically you're blindfolded, and it's just basically reducing one of your senses down, and you build the energy up, and she puts two notes down, yes and no, and you ask questions, yes and no, yes and no. They need to be your answers, and you build up the energy. We don't know where the yes and no is, by the way, and ideally, the yes and no are the answers to the questions where she stood away and she's able to write down the questions that we're asking and note down the answers that they give, if it gives any answers. And we felt like the planchette was moving massively, didn't we?
Yeah.
But actually, when you look back on video, it probably moves about that much. It's a tiny amount. But the energy coming off that table was just unbelievable. It was wild. I've never had an experience like that before. And I've never felt a planchette move at all. And that definitely 100% moved. Anyway, we come off it. And Jasmine wanted to do some scrying again, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we all stood around her. I was on live. And we all stood around her away from where we were. And basically, it just went quiet. But where we were all sat, on the chairs that we sat, they were all creaking. And it was like someone was getting up and down, a bit on each one. And it kept going round. And all of a sudden, it was bang. And there was a huge bang it was a trestle table. Everyone, it was so funny, the video was so funny. Everyone was going wild, going, oh my God, what was that? I was like, shut up. Like, they might be banging, they get just listed out. And we went round, didn't we? And the only noise that it was a fist or a bang on the table. It couldn't have been anything else.
You can't explain it. Like, the energy that must have took to do that. It wasn't like a nice, I'm here tap. It was a violent bang.
I've seen the video clip and it's a proper.
And like, I promise you now, Jasmine was here, Lee was stood up next to us, Paul and Laura behind me, Chantel and Karen. You can see Chantel and Karen in the video. Nobody's nowhere near that table where the noise comes from. The only way that it could have been
on the chairs. We was all focused on the chairs because the noise they were making, that was literally like someone was sitting in them. And you can just hear me on the video going about them chairs. And then all of a sudden, boom. Can't even explain it.
It's mad. So that's a pretty wild one. I've seen the video and obviously just missed the live. What would you say, if it's not that, would be the craziest bit of evidence or experience that you guys have had whilst doing it?
What were you talking about?
Have you got anything on top of your head?
I mean, for me, I'm going through this weird phase at the moment where I'm seeing figures and I don't like it.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I need to properly just almost look into. Well, I know the reason why. I do know the reason why, and I'm not saying like I'm a medium or anything like that. I just think I've done that many of them. I'm just opening myself up to it. I generally do, and I think it's almost like Laura did it at Hometown Hall, didn't she? It's almost like you can almost second guess where something's going to happen, and it happens. It's weird. We did. I can talk about it now because we're not doing it next year. But we did a trial event at Stanley Palace in Chester, and I mean the venue itself was really, really cool. But I walked in. I was saying to the guys, "There's a figure here," and I literally went over to where I saw the figure. I was like, "It's here." I drew it, and I could see it clear as day.
Wow,
it's weird. And I'm getting like the first ever time that happened were at Carlisle Masonic Hall. on our trial, and it just seems like it happens. And for me, it's a personal experience. Like nobody else can see that. But it's weird because I've never had that before.
Is it the same character, the same sort of figure?
No. Which is even scarier because then that again you open up this thing of like, well, what can I see? And yeah, it's weird. It's really, really weird. I don't like it, and I think I'm trying to fight it back as much as possible because it's almost like, where does it stop? Do you get what I mean? Like, I'll be walking down the street with my family, and it's like
see all the dead people.
Yeah, it's weird. It's really, really weird. That's a personal experience, but from our event experience, this is what's happened this year.
Carlisle. I'll take it back to Carlisle. The first time we was there, when we were stood in the function room, and we had the kettle switch on in the kitchen. That was solid. There was no one in there. You know when you can hear a kettle being pushed down past boiling point. You know, if you keep your finger on it, it keeps boiling. And then the second time we were there with customers, we put a music box in the kitchen. We was all in the function room. Music box triggered off again. There's just loads of stuff in that building. Upstairs in one of the little dressing rooms, the spirit talker app, I didn't really give it much credit before this, to be honest. It's always a good way to start, you know, if you get a name through or something, you know, rather than like where do you start kind of thing. It gives you a starting point. It came out with Liam, a lad who comes with me. It came out with his name, and then it insulted him saying he stinks, and then a cat ball went off. Right, so it was like name, insult, cat ball went off. Right, and then Jasmine's name came out, insulted her, cat ball went off. So I was like, the names, yeah, they can come out. It might be listening to you, you don't know. But for then an insult as well, and then the cat ball, it was a pattern. So that was pretty cool. And then evidence-wise as well, at Millham, I got scratched, like 4 scratch marks down my leg. Well, let's see. There's been so much happening this year. It's just been, it's been really good. I've never been scratched before and stuff like that.
Do you think that do you think that there's like been a build-up? So it's like it's gradually you're getting more and more stuff happening, and is that maybe because you as a group are quite a tight group?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like, because me and Ash go out, we have stuff happen to us, and we've been doing this for 5 years now, sort of together, and we'll go out, and then we meet up with the girls, and then they obviously have some wild stuff happen. And then the last time we were with the twins, that we had like some of the craziest stuff with the laugh and everything like that. But because I think we built this
relationship
bond up between the 4 of us, and obviously you guys go out now every week, 2 weeks, every month, or however frequently. That you guys, like you just mentioned, Jack, you've got this trust that you've built up between you all.
Yeah.
And I think there is something to be said about that kind of tightness of a group, that you all trust each other. You're probably more open with each other because you're so close in what you do that maybe that's having an impact.
It's all energy related.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
I said to Jack after what happened at Millham, I said, we need to try and figure out how to give customers that experience. Because it's always hard when you've got new customers or, you know, people who've never done anything. And it's like, you have to start at the beginning, you know, like baby steps. It's hard sometimes it's probably hard to build that energy because we're focusing on the customers. If the customers aren't calling out because they feel stupid, or it's one of them, we need to find a way to put the same energy and give the customers the same experience that we had. Yeah, that's what we need to do. There's got to be a way to do it.
It's funny you mentioned
difficult,
about you mentioned, Paul, about your first ghost hunt, because that's what I had my first one bought for me as well by my ex, and we went to Warwick Castle, and I didn't know what to expect. Obviously, I'd seen Most Haunted like everybody else had. Big shout out Parachat to everybody who went up on the stage and mentioned Most Haunted. Just to get that in, because everybody did. Everybody slates it, but everybody watched it. Anyway, so I went to Warwick Castle and we were standing in a group of people and they were like getting us to do like this like prayer thing. And I, very much like you, Paul, I was just having my eye open going, what the fuck is going on here? What have I just let myself in for? And then from then it was just like, you know what, this is pretty cool. I can see myself doing a bit of this. And yes, is how do you what you ideally want is you want that first timer to have the experience of somebody who's been a couple of times, so they get that kind of weird awkwardness out the way. That like you just mentioned, Paul, about calling out. There's nothing weirder and awkward than standing there going.
I think I'm only just getting used to that. You know, like I said before, my confidence. I would have never done a podcast last year. You asked Jack. We used to have WhatsApp meetings, and I used to leave my camera facing the ceiling or something like that, and just talk.
We saw more of his cat than we did of his face.
Yeah. So it's one of them. You just need to get them used to it. But
how did you find Parachat then? Because obviously standing up in front of loads of people is quite daunting. Even I was, before we went up on Parachat, I said to Sarah, I said, I'm really nervous.
Yeah, I didn't really say much, to be fair. I came out with a few one-liners, but I think Jack did amazing. But maybe, who knows, maybe next year I might be up to actually speaking. Like, I'm not going to lie, I shit myself when Jack sent me the itinerary for tonight. It was like, basically, Paul, the first half is about you. And then, I'll just chip in at the end. I was like, oh, no. And then when you went, it's recorded as well for YouTube. And I was like, oh, no.
Well, you done a cracking job, Paul.
Yeah, you've done a cracking job. You've done a cracking job. It is daunting.
It's recorded for YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're trying something new.
So what we've decided is, like you guys, and we'll come on to 2026 for you guys shortly. Me and Ash, we don't tend to have meetings as such. We just talk for hours doing this offline podcast.
Yeah.
And then, right, we better get on with it. And then, so we've actually set up our own goals for next year, which we've never done that before. No. This is, we're coming up to 5 years now. We've never had a plan, really. We've just been doing it, haven't we? So it'll be interesting to hear what your plans are. And you've got something big that you want to talk about based on the fact that it's World Men's Mental Health Day today.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So I mean, I'll go back to when we first started Paranormal Inc. Yeah, cool. I had this dilemma in my head of it goes back to not wanting to be a bit different, not wanting to be like, again, I'm not slagging off any companies that do this because, like I said, at Parachat, every single company, if they can manage to weather the storm in this industry, they've done an amazing job. And if they can keep going, it's fantastic. And at the end of the day, we need companies like that because it gives customers experience. Those customers that go to one company, generally, I'm not my customers, the customers that come to our events will go to different events. They'll go to different companies. And it's because of those experiences that keep people coming along and having a look online. We need that. We really, really need that for all of us, our sake. But I wanted to be different. And in my head, I was like, charity. Do it for charity. And then when you sit back and you go, okay, how much is this going to cost? How much a venue cost? How much does the website cost? How much does the pop and crisp cost every night? And all of a sudden you sat there going, I can't take that out of my own money. Like I will be absolutely, I'll be 30 grand in debt and absolutely through the roof. I was like, I'm not doing this. I can't do that. So I need to build a business plan where eventually we can get to the point where we can start giving back. And we spoke about it all the time, haven't we, Paul, about wanting to be able to do something where we can say we are doing this for X, Y, and Z. So it was at the house that cries, our conversation of I want to work for a charity or work with a charity, sorry. And obviously, you know Lee. I actually thought Lee would choose something possibly to do with support after large operations or, changes to, Lee's lost some limbs. I thought he would choose that. But Lee actually chose, and I actually think it's a really good charity. It's a charity where I've experienced possibly needs for this, and I imagine most men have as well. He chose Andy's Man Club. And for me, I reached out to Andy's Man Club because it was one of these. It was like, Lee, give us a few different charities, and I'll say, I don't want to just pigeonhole down one and all of a sudden they're not a great company to work with and stuff like that. I sat on a call with the marketing manager at Andy's Man Club, and it's almost like you don't realise that actually they're a big charity. They're huge. They've got marketing departments, they've got billing, they've got all these different departments. You don't realise that idea behind what they are. And very similar to the conversation that me and you had on the last pod, Greg, where she's talking about why we do this. And then it's almost she sat there and she's going, you're perfect for us because you just talk. And it's almost like if you can open up to people who go to your events and almost do that reverse thing where they suddenly start talking to you, and even if they're just talking about paranormal and stuff like that, actually it's creating that, that environment where people feel comfortable to come to. And actually, Paul just mentioned about, like a guy in like an anorak with a teddy and stuff like that. And it's a weird thing to do. It is such a strange thing. And actually for me, paranormal is about people coming out of the shells. That is, and being the true, real self. Because you do not walk around in an office with an AMF thing, do you? Asking for people to speak out. Well, you might do. It depends what kind of person. You know what I mean? Like, it's something which you possibly do behind closed doors in the dark with another bunch of people who like the same thing. And Andy's Man Club, for me, it matches that really well. So I am pleased to say, I'm really, really pleased. I'm proud to say that as of now, moving into 2026, Andy's Man Club is our official charity partner. Yeah. We've got some really cool things for next year. Really cool things. We are we're teaming up with the guys at Real Paranormal to host 2 charity events at the lodge. The guys, Saz and Gibbsy, have been very, very nice and agreed to support us with that. So any proceeds on tickets made from that event all going to charity. So I've worked out, if it sells out, probably looking at 400 or 500.
Amazing.
Which is a hell of a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really, really good. And the reason why we're raising money, and again, one thing that Sasha in the marketing team said is we don't want money. Generally, we don't want money. It's awareness that we want. But raising money for Andy's Man Club, it enables them to go to different areas and open more clubs for people to go to, for men to go to. So I've been asking for donations at our events for the last 2 months, I would say. Just cheeky when we're doing coffee and tea at break and stuff like that. If someone's having a break, I don't ask for money for it. I just ask for a £2 donation. We've got like a QR code. And so far, I mean, like I said, considering that we've only just announced it, we've done £70 for charity.
Amazing.
We did £50 at Parachat.
Yeah, I was going to say you were pushing
This
that
is
hard at Parachat
we were doing
in a
these
good
little
way, in a
doing
good
these
way.
little goals.
Yeah.
It's just really cool, and I think it's relatable. I think people know people who have struggled. I think it's in the news. You know, Ricky Hatton unfortunately passed away. He was in a really bad way. He's a celebrity. He's got all this
Mm,
money. He's a successful boxer. But actually, you take all that away, and all of a sudden, you've got people who need these places to go to. They've
mhm,
got 360 locations across the UK, and we need to get more. So we, as Paranormal Inc., we as Paranormal Group, Paranormal, we are going to go and spread the word next year. And if I can sit here in 12 months' time, and whether it's on this pod, Greg, or whether it is, whatever we're doing this time in 12 months, I can say we've done this, this, and this, and all of a sudden we've made a difference. It sounds really dramatic to say we've saved a life, but if somebody takes a business card and gives it to the son, brother, uncle, friend, whoever, dad, and all of a sudden they go to a club local to them and they start talking, for me, you have saved a life because it could end up a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah. There's a few things we want to do, isn't there? There's like a road trip. We want to do like a paranormal road trip, do a couple of venues, maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday, down south where we wouldn't normally go. There's another one. My idea was a stream in a haunted venue for 24 hours, or there's loads of different fun things to do. So,
no, amazing.
And you, you've just said one word, fun, and that
yeah.
is what it's all about. This for us is about having fun and building that energy and being able to have paranormal experiences, but also, like you said, Paul, just giving people that chance to be able to have an experience. And like we're going to be doing merch, and so we're going to be doing hoodies, t-shirts, hats. Percentage of money made, again, we donate to charity. One of the things which I do want to do is work with you guys, work with different groups, work with the twins. There's so many groups, obviously, we're really good friends with who, I think as soon as you start mentioning the reason why you want to do it, all of a sudden everyone goes, absolutely, we can do this. It's a great cause.
Definitely. And like with the mental health stuff, I think we've all had kind of good and bad experiences with it. And one of our two charities that we raise money for this year is Mind, which is
Yeah.
another mental health charity. So we've had guests that unfortunately have lost their battles with mental health in the past couple of years. So that's one that's quite sort of close to us as well. And like I say about having these safe spaces and being able to go to events, if you're just talking about the paranormal, having somewhere to go to talk about the paranormal. Like at UFO Identify, we host monthly meetings across the Northwest where you can just come and talk about UFOs because there's not really anywhere else you can do that where you can go and meet like-minded people without people thinking that you're crazy. And we pride ourselves on giving people that platform, giving people that opportunity to talk. And in a similar way to Andy's Man Club, where it's just about talking. And this is absolutely crazy, but my streams just refreshed on Facebook and Mind adverts come up. That's just
They
me.
listen to you.
I just saw it on my second screen, Mind advert. Yeah, no, it is great, and we'll definitely be working together at some point on that. So we're good luck with that. It's a great stuff you're doing.
One
Yeah.
thing which we do want to do, me and Paul have both said it, is we want to do the grounding experiment. We are going to come on a UFO / ghost hunt with you guys and do that. Definitely.
Yeah, where we were, I'll tell you what, that night was insane. When we went out to Delamere and we had so many different things happen and we'd done the C5. It's funny because after that Parachat conversation, the guys at PSI messaged and was like, we want to do C5 with you guys. We want to try that. And it was mad.
Yeah.
We were just sat in the middle of a forest and it all starts kicking off.
Yes.
It's really, and like we said with the seance, you guys were saying about stripping it back. It's we done that with the seance at Priest Cottage, and it all starts kicking off. And I
Yeah.
think to work with other teams, I think is the way forward. We'd love to do stuff with you guys for definite. Well, I know we talked about going Delamere. I think because Delamere, getting everybody to Delamere would be a mad,
cool.
mad experience. And again, it's great for mental health. People that spend time with people who are going through similar things, like you mentioned, Jack, paranormal is quite a niche thing. And you say that you kind of go around an office and you don't really talk about the fact that you go ghost hunting in the middle of the night at a weekend, because
Yeah.
people expect you to go, oh, I went down the pub and watched football. You know, actually, I spent my nights in a building with all the lights off, shouting and calling out for ghosts to come and tap me or let me know that they're there. It's not a normal thing. It's not a normal thing. So to be able to have a safe space where we can all like the last couple of weeks there's been a collective of people come together for
Yeah,
similar reasons, and we've all sort of created this bond, which has been
yeah,
really cool. And I know that the girls are looking at the women's side of the mental health, etc., like Andy's Man Club, but also the women where they've had their issues, not just in the paranormal, but in the wider society as well. And they're the
yeah,
twins and Karen Frey. They've started up and founded the Supernatural Sisterhood on Facebook, where there's like a safe space for people who've had all manner of things happen that can go together and find a safe space to speak to each other. And it's very important that people know that there's places and people they can speak to, because the worst thing you can do is not talk.
yeah,
Talking really, I know they say a problem shared is a problem halved, and I think sometimes people forget that. I bottle
yeah,
stuff up myself, and I know I do. But when you talk about it and you go, somebody goes, I've been through that myself, mate, or and you go, oh, actually,
yeah.
I'm not just on my own.
Yeah. I can't tell you how much doing Paranormal Inc. has done me some good, massively. I've always been an anxious person, and I know that you won't believe it, but like I struggle in crowds. I don't like getting up and talking in front of people. I know it does sound crazy, doesn't it? But I don't. I don't like doing it. And I think, well, it's not. I think I know. I know doing Paranormal Inc. Meeting Paul, Lee, Jasmine has been a massive thing for me, and I think if other people can experience a very similar brotherhood, sisterhood, family, people, friends getting together, all for the same thing and being able to express themselves in a way that they feel comfortable doing, we can go really deep into this because it's the society thing at the moment, isn't it, where it's all about being able to express yourself and people saying, no, it's wrong, but you've got to do it in a certain way. Well, actually, there's no right, wrong, or indifferent way. If you find somewhere where you're able to express yourself and you can be with people and you feel comfortable being with people in that way, there's no better place to be.
Yeah, it's like I've had the wrong friends my whole life. I've kind of like swapped out my friends. So rather than going out on weekends and that now, I find myself talking to you guys more, like the group chat, and it's weird. I've just kind of like swapped my friends, and I've just completely changed my path.
Yeah,
So
it's
maybe I was
weird.
on the wrong path my whole life, and I've literally just found where I should be, kind of thing.
Well, when me and Ash started the podcast, and since that since we started that, there'd be weeks that we'd spend hours each night just chatting away on Zoom or whatever. We've just chatting about the paranormal, just chatting or catching up on like what we've been doing and like work and moving and life. And then it'd be like a few hours later, it's like, shit, we better do the podcast now. So we'd record the podcast. And like we did before we came on the recording here, it's easy. We could just have a group
Yeah,
video
just get
call
carried away. Yeah,
and just
yeah.
get carried away and we just start talking. And I know me and Ash have done it many times where we're like an hour or so in and we go like, right, let's
We
do
need
the
to do
episode
this.
now. And then we'd stop recording and then we'd chat again. I'm like, right, I've got to go, mate. I've got to be up in a few hours. Or,
Yeah,
but it's great to have like-minded people to have a conversation with.
that's it.
And I don't going back to your point, Pod. It's not that you probably had the wrong friends. It's just that you've now got friends that align more with
Yeah, yeah,
your
yeah,
interests.
yeah.
And I
I
find
mean,
that my all of my friends are into paranormal. I got Sarah, and literally that's what we talk about. It's the
yeah, yeah,
paranormal and our plans and our thoughts and our theories, and we just mind
Yeah,
dump all the time. And it's same with Ash. We're just like chatting, and I'll message Ash and we'll go, right, what? Let's do this, or we need to do this. Who can we get on the podcast? Like just all these things. What we're going to do for the fifth birthday? What we're going to do for this? What are our plans
yeah,
for next year? And we constantly just
yeah. If you're interested in it, I mean, I just find myself like, yeah, I don't really speak to anyone who's not into it anymore. I'm even missing my work's Christmas do to go on a ghost hunt. So like, it's one of them. I'm not bothered about the drink anymore, or waking up rough in the morning.
oh yeah,
I'd rather
yeah,
just wake up tired after a good night.
we're a paranormal hangover.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and
but
it's one of them things as well. No matter how tired you are, you still find the energy to go along. Like
It's
them
that buzz.
Friday night investigations after you've been at work all day. You come in, you get a quick shower, and then you're straight back out again, putting your shoes on as you leave in the door. It's one of them. It's you always seem to find the energy to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Paul
It's
was so mean to me the other day. He was absolutely horrible. So when you're on about being tired, if we're doing a long drive, Paul will drive because I can't drive. Like going home, I just can't. It's unsafe. Anyway, we're driving back from Carlisle, and I fell asleep, and I don't know where I think I must have fallen asleep, like just past Lancaster, and I woke up, and him and Laura are talking in the car. I was like, "Oh, where are we?" He's like, "Oh, we've got half an hour." I was like, "Oh, real do." And then like, I just out the corner of my eye, I saw that M65 and a sign for Burnley. I was like, "You bastards!"
Yeah. No,
Oh,
we was literally just coming off the motorway. Yeah.
I was expecting another 30 minutes. That I was so excited.
so what would you say is your go-to experiment on a night? So for you guys, when you guys do it, and what is the go-to one? I know you mentioned Paul about like the Spirit Talker app to begin with, just to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, yeah.
So what kind of so I'd probably know what Ash's and mine is, but yeah, I'd be interested to get your thoughts because everybody seems to have something slightly different.
Well, yeah, there's the Spirit Talker app, and I don't really give much credit to human pendulums or anything like that. It's very much equipment related, to be honest. And noises as well. Just listening to the environment.
Hmm.
Keep it basic.
Yeah.
So, like Jack was saying, Ouija boards, can't really trust them unless you're doing it with people that you trust.
Hmm.
Human pendulums. So yeah, it's like the app to get things started, build up the energy, and then yeah, just very much noises, using your own senses, just stuff like that, just keeping it basic.
Hmm.
Uh, but then it depends when you've got customers, you have to try certain things, what they want to try and stuff like that. But yeah, it very much differs. When we're by ourselves, we can try other stuff like that one that Jack mentioned in Millim.
Hmm.
And then I think, did you see the video I put in the other day in the group chat with the Estes method?
Yes.
And like a K2 and stuff like
Hmm.
that. There's different stuff out there to try, but it's them times when we're by ourselves that we can try different things. So we need to get some more stuff to try for next year.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
Like our go-to is the Estes method. We've had such amazing results from the Estes method. I cannot tell you. And then going to Priest Cottage and just going right back and doing the seance thing. That was
Yeah,
that was mad. And that set the tone for the night. So Yeah.
Did you put any money in the tray at the priest cottage?
I don't know.
You know,
But
you've
had a lot of money off me that trip. I've been there quite a few times.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you have.
Yeah. Do you put money in, Ash? Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the weird things that happened there is we didn't go live streaming or anything to begin with. We just put the camera. We got like a night vision camera just on the side, and they had their camera up in the corner. And I put my MacBook and the memory stick reader or memory card reader and everything in my rucksack. I always put it in my rucksack. It goes everywhere with me. And on the way back, I said to Sarah, I was like, I don't know if I've got that fucking memory card, you know. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I've got a weird feeling that memory card is nowhere to be found. I said, I don't know what it is, but I just got this weird feeling. Anyway, we get home, can't find the memory card. I was like, fuck, I know it's somewhere because I only had the bag in the living room. And so FX, the girls at FX were like, we'll have a look at it in the week. We're going back in there. We'll have a look around. They were saying they were cleaning around the sofa area where I told them it was. Couldn't find it. Then all of a sudden, there was a noise and this fucking memory card appeared. Like, it wasn't there, then it was there. So they sent us a memory card and we got the memory card back and got the footage. But I don't know why I thought all of a sudden, and that place is weird. That place is weird.
Yeah.
And doing the seance and all that weird stuff happening,
I'm looking forward to going back.
It is a great place. It is a great place. Me and Ash were there like within the first week or so of it opening.
We didn't get much when we went. I think we had a very, very, very quiet night.
Yeah, I think it's really sort of ramps up. I think, and then like the four of us, we went with the twins, and that night was pretty crazy. But yeah, so where's a top location that you guys want to go on to? Doesn't have to be something
East
that's
Drive.
going to be East Drive. Okay, cool. Yeah.
You've got to do it, haven't you? It's like a rite of passage. You know, if you're in this sort of business, it's you've got to do it.
Yeah.
And we feel like letdowns because we've not done it. So we feel like frauds, don't we, Jack?
Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah.
So me and Ash are going. We're going next January with the girls. Us two and the girls are
brilliant.
We're private hiring it for the night, and
it's one of them. You hear mixed stories about it, whether it's rubbish, this, that, and the other. But you've just got to do it as well.
I've been before. I went before. I went many, many, many years ago, and a few things happened. I mean, I'm still not entirely convinced by it. I'll be honest. I didn't have the experience that some other people have had experiences of, but I think I wasn't there with the right people. Maybe. Well, I was on a group. I was on a group event with my ex. She was not massively into the paranormal, although she'd been on a few, and then she was like, "No, I'm not coming out anymore because don't really believe it."
The right people make a difference.
So the right people. So a group of people who are invested in the paranormal. I think that's the way forward. Yeah. What about down south? Have you been to any locations down south? All of you Northerners.
No.
So for me personally, there are many places which I want to go. Down south is massive. I want to do. I mean, the jails that you've got down south. You know, you've got the pubs as well. Like Paul mentioned, doing some form of paranormal road trip. If we can get that in the books next year, that'd be fantastic. Want to go and see like abnormal, the last one abnormal. I'll say late night. Want to see those guys. There's also South Coast Paranormal. We've just recently, again, in the world of TikTok and the world of socializing with people, they were in our live at Millen and non-stop speaking to these guys. They're based down in Dorset. Kent. Yeah.
It's miles away. That is miles away.
Yeah.
Even for me, that's miles away.
it's just doing stuff with people like that. Like these people, they come and spend time with us. We go on their live to support them too, and it's just good to get a face to a name, and actually see how these guys work. Because again, they might work completely different to how we do, and we learn from them, they learn from us, and that's what this world's about, and it's learning from each other. For me, I really, and this is why I put it on. Obviously, the thing to talk about is my aim for next year is to work with teams. I really, really want to work with teams. I want to have different experiences with teams. I want to plan different venues that we've never been to. I want to do stuff with it. I want to do stuff with the girls. I want to experience the madness of the twins on a paranormal investigation. Like they'll probably hate they'll probably hate me for saying it, but actually, like if you go to the right location, I imagine that they stir up so much energy, and I imagine that actually it can be a really cool place. I can imagine that these earbuds are probably needed, but I imagine that it's a really good place. Like I love the guys so much.
If you think you've been tired after an investigation, you'll be exhausted after an investigation with the girls. Trust me.
Yeah.
It's one of them. We've been in the same building as them numerous times, like doing investigations, but we've never actually done an We've never actually spent time with them investigating.
Let's just say downtime isn't a thing for them, and I spend a lot of time with at least one of them, and when they're together, fucking hell, I'll tell you what, it's wild.
Paul's task for next year is to get on one of like their TikTok dancers. That's what you need to do, Paul, to get your confidence up.
Did you see my TikTok dance?
Yes.
Dad dancing.
Fucking hell, I got about as much rhythm as Peter Crouch. Honestly.
Yeah, me and you both. But yeah, so I think I want to do that, and I want the different experiences. I want to, do the thing with you guys with the CE5. There's so much which I want to do, and I think we're in a really good position because we've got so many friends now in the paranormal community. Said it, we're in there. I think we're in a really unique place where actually people like us, we like people. We're not upsetting anybody. We just want to be good people. We're good friends, and I think I was saying little things about like with Saz and Gibbsy, those guys from Real Paranormal, fantastic people. Gibbsy, he is. I think me and him on an investigation will be hilarious. I don't know why. I just think actually like he's very like an angry person. He'll love me for saying this. And like I'm very much like just very much a bit like I'm scared. I'm scared. I just imagine like I think it'll be fun to watch. And it's just that kind of thing in it, having different experience with different people, trying to get you outside your comfort zone. And like Paul said earlier, the fact that he's sat here on camera. Proud of him. I'm proud of the guys. I'm proud of the team. I'm really, really proud of the team. I love the guys to bits. And what we've done this year is fantastic. But next year is going to be better.
Awesome. Right. So where can everybody find you?
Nowhere. No. So social media, we are on, actually, people who are listening, I'm going to promote this the hell out of it. We're on the road to 1,000 followers before Christmas. I want to get on 1,000 followers before Christmas. We just hit 902 before we joined this call. So if you can follow us on Facebook, the name is Paranormal Inc. Inc as in INC. Our website is parainc.co.uk. We're on TikTok as well as Paranormal Inc. too. We will be releasing our events in the next 2 weeks for next year. There's going to be some more which we're going to be adding into the calendar later on as the year goes on too. But socials wise, mainly Facebook and TikTok.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time tonight, guys. Do appreciate it. And it's been great to have another conversation with you both. And I know we've all been chatting recently, and it's been good to sort of get to know people. And nice to meet you again. I know I'd been to the Pendle Hippodrome, but good to have a chat at Parachat as well. So that was super cool. And I hope it's just one of a few conversations and meetups that we're going to have over the coming months and years. So appreciate your time,
Definitely.
guys. Thank you very much.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye.